The question is, ladies and gentlemen, are you taking care of yourself? And the answer would normally be a positive yes from most people because it's, of course, I do my hair, I do my feet, I do my nails. Yes, I get facials, I get massages. We got some women out there who are definitely, I would call high maintenance. It's okay, ladies. It's okay. You got some men too. Some men love to do pedi, manis, make sure their hair is, they have to barber every 2 weeks. So some men come every week. They don't play. Well, some men don't play. Some men up on there, they like to smell good, like some ladies, make sure they got the right products, got the right, play with their skincare, like some women. Got some men and women who don't play. They don't play uh, with self-care. But I just want to let you know that there's a deeper thing to this thing called self-care. And it's a wonderful and a beautiful thing to do all these things that I've mentioned because it's important to take care of your outer self. Definitely. Uh, because you don't want to neglect the body. And some people are not as high maintenance and they enjoy the simple things of life. Whether they do their own mani, their own pay, or whatever they do to take care of them, of their physical body, it's just fine as long as it's done in a positive way and you're taking care of yourself and you're looking good. It doesn't have to be on the high end. It could be in between, low end, whatever end it is, as long as you're taking care of your physical, it's a beautiful thing. But I just want to let you know, ladies, that there is more to self-care on the outer. The most powerful self-care that you can ever imagine is the inner. So I want to talk about a couple of things that we need to do, or you're probably already doing, but just keep encouraging you to stay steady, stay still, stay focused on it. Because sometimes life has a way of pulling us in. It sure does. And uh, things happen where you kind of fall off, where you're not able to continue that. But there's some people who can really, they can really stay steady with the uh, physical as far as the appearance. And when we hear something happen to that person, like how did that person suddenly just pass? And because, she always looked good, but we don't know what was happening to her. Welcome to Mfon's Women's Empowerment. I am definitely MJ. Just want to thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel because without you, my channel would not be where it is today. So I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for your support. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, millions of thank yous. And I'm hoping to grow more with you together. And if you have anything that you want me to talk about, you can hit me up. Just send me something below and I will try my best to work on it. I will try my best. I will try, definitely. Okay, so here we go, ladies and some gentlemen. I want to talk about self-care, the best self-care that no one can give you but yourself. When we talk about self-care, we say, oh, yes, I do that. I take care of my hair. I go every 2 weeks. So some men say I'm in a barber every 2 weeks. So I get my hair, done. Some men like to do mani and pedi. Some women like to do mani and pedi. Some women like to do massages. Some men like to do massages. Some people like to, make sure that they get their lasers and whatever, waxing, eyebrows, lashes, all that stuff. And whatever some of our men do to maintain themselves, which is all good. It's a beautiful thing. But I just wanted to talk about the fact that the real self-care is the inner. That's the real self-care. The outer is good. It's good. Sometimes when we see some people, when we hear that a sudden uh, passing or a sudden sickness, and you're like, well, wow, that person always looked good. That person always hair did, clothes was fly. You know how they say, Everything was matching, and they had the best zip code and they had the best car. And they didn't play. But the inner part is the most important part. Because if you're doing all of that on the outward and you're not taking care of the inner, it kind of defeats the purpose. Because sometimes self-care can be a superficial thing. For some of us, it can be a way of masking the pain and the hurt. And we can go real deep and spend a lot of money on how we look outwardly, but inside we're so much pain. And so I want to talk about a couple of things that we can do to enhance our self-care. Because it involves a blend of physical, emotional, mental, spiritual practices, which all of that it overall balances our well-being. Because when something is off, like physically, if something is off, then the emotion is going to be off because you're not going to feel yourself. And then mentally, you may get sad or depressed. And spiritually, you may not want to practice uh, talking to God, or, everything will get thrown off. And so we want to have an overall balance of everything. So, for example, physical care is definitely not just outward, but it's definitely finding the best exercise for you. What works for me may not work for you. Like me, I enjoy going to the gym. I love the gym. Sometimes I don't feel like going. I'm being human, being honest, but I go because I know I need to go so that I can maintain the inner physical, which will reflect my mental and my emotional stability, right? So exercise, find the right exercise for you, whether it be walking in nature, walking in a park, walking around your neighborhood, whatever, treadmill, Pilates, making sure that it's balanced with your correct nutrition. You got to eat the right diet that is fitting for you, right? Because what works for me may not work for you, but you want to make sure that it's healthy and to the best, healthiest that you can get. For example, staying on the outer court of the grocery store, then basically fixing or focusing on the inner side of the grocery store, which is mostly a lot of uh, boxes. So we want to, if you're going to use the boxes that's in the inner sides of the grocery store, you want to make sure that you have a lot of fruits and vegetables, whatever you like. But make sure you got more live foods than the inner foods that's in the aisles, which is mostly dead foods and processed foods, right? And a lot of those foods kind of mess with our mental and physical, right? Because they're not alive, right? So you want to make sure that most of your foods are on the outer side of the grocery store, meaning, yeah, if you eat fish or chicken, making sure you as closely to organic as possible if you can. Most, or if you can find someone who in your neighborhood has uh, fresh, they're growing their own chicken, they're growing their own, a fresh market that you can trust. And having mostly a lot of vegetables, which is healthy for you, and fruits if you a fruit person. And then the emotional self care is definitely, so you got to be able to set boundaries, set healthy boundaries, getting out of the cycle of trauma, which can repeat itself on a constant. Some people could be on a constant, constantly loving and enjoying fights and arguments. And some people just love it. They get a high of it because that's all they know. But the real self care is finding a balance, setting healthy boundaries, and knowing that you can't afford to be around toxicity, expressing your emotions and saying how you feel, journaling and engaging in supportive relationships. People who are not takers only, but who are going to pour into you as you're pouring into them. That sets a healthy balance because you don't want to be in a situation where you're the one that's doing all the calling, you're the one that's doing all the building the friendship, and nothing is happening for you. It's imbalance. It is not fair. You want to continue with the mental self-care, being mindful of what you can handle, what you can't handle, If you know you need to be in therapy, get the therapist. Get it. Don't delay. Finding creative outlets like writing, art. I love art. I like singing. I love the music. So finding outlets and finding that balance and not neglecting that and getting caught up so busy that you don't have time. So such a strong and positive self-care, to reduce your stress and to gain some clarity. And then your social, that's a strong self-care. Spending time with loved ones, joining supportive communities, just catching up with friends and, not being isolated. Because when you stay to yourself for a long period of time, it kind of, I know some people are loners, hence uh, the pandemic. But when you decide to change the dynamics in your home, do something different, a spark goes off in your brain. It's just like, wow, something different, a new scenery, a change of scenery. Spiritual self-care is another good one that I love. Prayer, reflecting on the word, meditating on the word, reflecting to find peace and purpose, connection, and getting stronger in the word, especially using it as a weapon because life is life. And then, of course, your professional self-care, you got to take breaks. Take breaks. You're not a machine. Woman, you're not superwoman. Men, you're not Superman. Although you may have possessed gifts that allow people to see that, hey, if I call this person, it is definitely going to get done. But not all the time. It needs to be you. Not all the time. Not all the time. You got to learn how to say no, especially if your body is telling you and it's crying out to you and saying, I can't do this no more. I'm tired. I am tired. I just want us to rest. And so, setting career goals, you know, ladies, you can have it all, but not all at once. You just take your time. Take your time. I know some people are trying to get higher degrees, PhD, masters, whatever, bachelor's, whatever it is, or just obtaining certain things in life that you have goals on, and maybe you have getting some bumps. It's okay. It's okay, ladies. It's okay. Take your time. Maybe you have kids and you have a husband and you have a job and you want to have everything in one time. Some people have nervous breakdowns because some people just can't handle all of that at once. So take your time, start with one, here a little, there a little, as the word of God says, brick by brick, you will get there. It's not in a rush. There's no race. The only race is the race that's going on in your mind. And so remember that the word burnout is not just a word. It happens to people who are not doing the inner self-care. You can burn out. Don't think because you're going to just take care of your eyebrows and your hair, your nails and your feet, that you will not burn out if you don't set self-care boundaries inwardly. So I want to leave you with this because I see that uh, we have been taught that self-care for some people is the outer appearance, but it's not. It's definitely the inner. And so I want you to have a goal that I am going to take care of my outer, if that's you, and the inner, ladies, so that you can be completely empowered. I am definitely MJ.